Hey everybody, it's time to go over the next two earnings trades. Like I said yesterday, that's going to come on Robinhood and Snapchat, or tickers Hood, HOOD, and ticker Snap, SNAP. We're going to start with Robinhood because they have less levels that we're looking at, and Snapchat's a little complicated. I rate Robinhood a 4 out of 10, and I gave them legs of a 131 put and a 155 call. So as I've been doing this week, I will be going over key levels, doing a little bit of a price analysis, as well as going over the earnings trade. So that's going to be a 155 call and a 131 put. Let's make this purple. There you guys go. That is the earnings setup. For the untradeable zone, where price is currently resting at, I am looking at a smaller zone on the bottom side and just a top side level. The top side level is going to be 145. And to the bottom, the very lowest level is going to be 138. And I gave them a secondary level at 139, which I'm going to expand over here so you guys can see why I did that. There we go. So we have the untradeable zone right here between 138 and 145, the secondary level within the untradeable zone at 139, and the earnings setup. To the downside, bears are going to look between 138 all the way down to 118. Bears are going to have an earlier level to be looking at, which is going to come at 128, then 121, all the way down to 118. So the full level will look like 138 down to 118 with two secondary levels, and this one's actually going to be a zone down here. This will be 121 to 118. And then we have a level at 128. It's going to be about right there. Let me get these colors changed for you guys as well. There you guys go. For the bears, starting at 138 all the way down to 118. They can also target at earliest 128 or a little later at 121. For the bulls, they're going to start at 145, and because Robinhood did recently reach all-time highs at 153.91, we did take that into account as a possible take profit, but I did want to mirror the downside move, so I targeted all the way up to 159. That will look like this. 145 to 159, and we want to acknowledge the all-time highs. I'll probably just level it right here, call it 153 flat, just because I don't care about wicks that much. So there you guys go for the Robinhood analysis and the earnings trade. I can pull it just like this in case you guys want to see while I'm talking about it. Quick little recap: Robinhood's a 4 out of 10, given a 131 put and a 155 call headed into earnings. Their untradeable zone is going to be where price is currently resting between 138 and 145. Early entries to the downside can be seen at 139. Safer entries will be at 138, targeting all the way down to 118. Bears can also make multiple take profit levels looking at 128, 121, and then the final level, as previously mentioned, at 118. To the upside, bulls are going to start looking for longs at 145, targeting all the way up to 159, setting new all-time highs, or they can just target previous all-time highs at 153 or 153.91. The next company we're going to cover is Snapchat, ticker SNAP. Now, Snapchat is a bunch of levels just because there's not a whole lot to go off of in recent times, and I did have to mark new lows that would be the lowest point since January 2019. Snapchat is rated a 7 out of 10, releasing their earnings Wednesday, November 5th post-market. They're given a 6.5 put and a 7.5 call, or an 8.5 call, my mistake. 8.5 call, 6.5 put. Let's make this purple. Untradeable zone, we're going to have two zones to be looking at here. The first one is going to be between 730 and 750. The next zone is going to go all the way up to 760 and 765. So it's just going to be two zones stacked on top of each other, depending on if you guys want early entries or more confirmed entries. Looking just like that. To the downside, I'm going to draw the levels and then the zone overall, but I want to zoom out a little bit so you guys can see what levels I'm going to be looking at. The first one is going to come at 710 right there. The next is going to be 7 flat right there. The third one is going to be at 670, about right here. And the last one's going to be at 615. If price did get all the way down here, again, this would be the lowest point since January 2019. Let me get these colors changed for you guys. And just to draw a zone for the easiest visual, we are looking below 730 for the shorts, targeting all the way down to 615 on the bearish zone. So there we have the two untradeable zones, 4 bearish levels, and the entry point sitting at 730 where price closed at today. To the top side, again, we're going to have 4 or 5 levels to be looking at. One of them is going to be a zone, and we are going to first target at 805, 810, which is a zone. And I want to expand it over here so you guys can see what I was looking at. It'll be like this. To start for the bulls, 805, 810, I expanded all the way over here. You can push it even farther to get these guys, but I just want to fit what I can on the screen. I wanted to capture these lows here. This was a break, a break, a break, but they had this little rejection. Now they had a push below, more rejection, retest, rejection. So that's why I'm targeting this area specifically. Coming after this level is going to be 835. That will be right here. After 835, we're looking at 845. And after 845, we're looking at the final target at 865. Now, part of the reason there are so many levels here is because I wanted them each to have an equal amount of levels, as well as try to mirror their moves, which was a little difficult to do. So I just figured, since I did the downside first, I had to find 4 levels to the top side. I knew my top side level, I knew my initial level, which is this zone, and then I had to find 2 middle levels on lower time frame structures that I thought price could visit. Let me get the big zone on here so you guys can have an easier picture to be looking at. And here you guys go for Snapchat. The latest entry for the longs will start at 765. The earliest can be at 750. For the shorts, you can start at earliest 730. They have no additional zoning to be looking for, with a first target of 710, a second target of 7, a third target of 670, and a final target of 615. To the upside, bulls, like I said, have 2 entry points, but their first target's going to be at this zone, which is 805 to 810. The next level for the target will be 835, followed by 845, and finally finishing at 865. Going over Snapchat's earnings trade again, I will expand the zone like this. We give them a 6.5 put and an 8.5 call, rated a 7 out of 10. So we do expect a large move. It has been historically a probable trade to beat their expected move. I'm still working on picking 2 companies to be doing for tomorrow morning, but I will likely have 2 videos just how I did today, one at 6 a.m. Eastern time and one at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure you guys are looking out for my future analysis and my earnings trades.